What about Arne Slot, Ryan? I mean, last season, he came in. I don't think anybody thought we were going to win the league last season. He changed things in terms of the way we played, a bit of extra control. The tempo was different. Great tweaks like Gravenberch playing deeper. Does Arne Slot look a little bit confused maybe himself at the moment? Like all these new players have come in and maybe he's just not sure how to get the best out of us. Is it 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3? And he almost feels like he's trying to work it out week by week. Is that fair?
I think his lineup looks very confused.
And his subs as well?
Yeah, I mean, when you're having to throw on a 4-2-4, you've not managed the game in the first 75 particularly well.
Sure.
Just chucking subs on and hoping that they're gonna bail you out of the problems that have been created. Then I think that's problematic. I think maybe there seems to be a stubbornness to his comments in his post-match interviews, which is a little bit concerning. I think the first time we've seen this from Slot.
In what way?
In that I think he's focusing a little bit on the margins and certain moments in the game when actually, we're not giving ourselves a basis for sustained attacks, really. It is so end-to-ends that there is a chance that, like we had the first part of the season, things went our way. But equally, it's on a knife edge because it can go the other way. So, I think he's quite stubborn with his philosophy at the moment. And I'm not quite sure, I was going to ask Jermaine about this, I'm not quite sure what he's actually trying to do just yet. I don't know what the build-up is. I don't know what his sort of idea is between the two wing-backs because he's not really getting the best out of them. They seem to be sort of stifled in the system at the moment. I think when we looked most threatening against United was in the first, I'd say about 10 to 20, where we kept sort of running through their midfield, Gravenberch with that sort of breaking the lines from sort of the centre-back position through and playing quick balls into Gakpo. But when you've got Ekitike, Isak, Salah, Wirtz and Gakpo's getting the best out of that system, doesn't seem that that's working what he's trying to do anyway, unless that is what he's trying to do, which would be... It is. I
mean, I'll ask you that, but it is when you're watching the Liverpool team, it is, as Ryan rightly says, you are sometimes there scratching your head.
Yeah.
At what the build-up play is supposed to look like, what we're supposed to try and be doing, Jermaine. Is that fair?
It is. I think what it is with him, when you have a solid pre-season, you've got your whole team. You've got a style, philosophy, DNA, this is what we're doing. Right now, he's got a striker, British record, so he has to use him, but he's working on the go, as in he's using him, playing him time, but as a pre-season. As in he's trying to get him up to match fitness rather than maybe starting Ekitike. He's thinking, well, if I leave Isak off, he's still playing catch-up. I'm going to try and use him, play him, try and get him up to speed because he's a record signing as well. And the way he's got our star players who are not performing, with Salah, McAllister, one of our greatest players of the season, and Virgil, all not working together at the moment. He's literally just playing on the go. He's like I said, managers have their system, have their fundamentals to go out and they can just change a little bit here. But with game by game, he's working, trying to find out what works, what's not working, tweaking this, tweaking that. Oh, he's not playing well, let's put him out, let's give this. At the moment, he's not got a solid plan. He's literally working game by game, seeing which works, that works. And you're not going to get that cohesion. Things are not going to sit properly and you're going to find leaks and we're just finding out game by game.
And interesting, in the last 3 games, the Palace, Chelsea, United game, we went 1 down, we get the equaliser, and then we can see late on. And I feel like, because Man City winning 5 out of 6 titles, kind of set new heights for consistency and getting to 100 points, getting to 98 points. We obviously won season 97 points and didn't win the league ourselves. I think it almost feels like for the last few years, every game in the Premier League has to be a win. Like you can't always settle for a draw anymore. I don't know whether, Paul, maybe, do you think that needs to change maybe? And like there's your game where maybe, let's say Chelsea away, we get to 1-1, not park the bus, but maybe look to be a little bit more defensive rather than go for the win?
I couldn't tell you tactically because I'm not a footballer, but what I was saying about the fans is that's what it feels like for me. All of a sudden, we go a goal down, everyone's like, it's turning on them straight away, and we have a lot of fans. And listen, it's not my job to tell fans how to react and how to support the team, by the way. But we go 1 goal down, all of a sudden they're turning on them, like we should be winning every game. not the old days, but recently Man City have set a standard, and Liverpool, by the way, in these title races where it's small margins. But the old Premier League titles, or the old league titles, you'd lose 3-4 games a season, still win the league. It's not like it doesn't have to be exceptional every time. You don't have to win every game, but recent times and recent standards have said that you probably do have to win most of your games. You can only afford 1 or 2 losses a season, and that's unfortunate. But I think this season it could be one of them again where it is small margins. But I'm not overly worried as yet. But there is certainly things to be worried about.
And the atmosphere inside Anfield, is it just one of those where you almost sometimes we go a goal down and you almost that's the time to almost back the players, if anything?
They did back the players, to be fair. As soon as the first goal went in, I could hear them singing from the Kop. They were singing around me in the main stand as well. It was supporting. It's just a little bit faster turn for me. As soon as something goes wrong, there's a little bit like a little groan here or there, which we're not quite used to. But that's testament to what's going on at the moment, the times that we're in at the moment.
Yeah, I think that first goal going in was an absolute shell shock for everyone in the stadium, on the pitch, staff, everyone. It was like a real dagger to the heart. I was like, oh, Man United scored within a minute, like, oh my God.
Do you have any complaints?
And the recovery of that, it was kind of difficult. I don't think they recovered it for a good 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Do you have any complaints about the goal? There was obviously McAllister went down with a head injury. Referee didn't stop the game. United to go on and score. I guess the rules say if there's a head injury, the ref's supposed to stop the game, but is it one of those?
Look, it's here or there, 50-50. He could have given it. I think if it was, because it happened so quick, he went down for a head injury. Next minute, the ball gets played through, it's a goal.
Yeah.
If it was 15 to 20 seconds later on, I think the game would have just stopped, as you see. But the timing from getting the ball played through, him going down and scoring, was it was difficult to really kind of pull it back.
Any complaints, boys, about that?
No, I think you tend to see in those situations, it's a prolonged period of time, isn't it? Where there's a head injury and plays continue to such an extent where then it gets pulled back. And again, look, you can't be, when we've got so much quality in the side, it does feel remiss to be picking on certain situations and pointing as them as the problem when there's it feels like there's lots of tiny cracks everywhere that's creating this entire wobble. It's not 1 or 2 instances that are going against us. I don't think we're too far away from winning games again, but winning them comfortably and with an identity and a way of confidence. We feel quite some distance away from that at the moment.